What's good? What's good? All right, bet. Let's get into this. So, I always do this. I be getting turned before the stream, right? And then it's too loud every time. So, what we got going on here? So we have our mitigation block. Let's just go from top down. Oops, top down. So, using this range right here, we went up to a premium. We fell short of this volume balance, but we have this breaker here, high, low, higher, high. We hit the mean threshold of that. So imagine that, like, you can see that that's the middle. Go to the hourly chart. This range here, high, low. We came up to a premium. We hit this fair value gap right here. This is also a mitigation block on the hourly time frame. We hit that too, so it's a lot of combination, a lot of overlapping there. I like that. Then on the 15-minute chart, we had a nice reaction from here, which I like. So the mitigation block with the new week opening gap, we traded up above it, traded below it. I would like to see it use as resistance. Attack this. Ultimately, see if we can get down there. We have a low resistance liquidity run signature here as well. So those are a couple things that we're looking for right now. And then again, we're always just looking for protraction against the overall direction at specific times. So at 6 or 8 p.m., at midnight, right there, and then after 7. So after 7, if I'm bearish, I want to see it trade up first. If it comes down first, then I'm expecting New York is going to give us a reversal profile. That's how I'm looking at or framing the day. So that's what I'm looking for. You can see we're on NQH, not MNQ. Trying something today. Doing something a little bit different today. Something a little different. But yeah, so that's what we're looking for today. I mean, on the pre-market, when I was going over price was up here. We wanted to see us come back up to a premium. Want to attack this sell side. I think us trading on Friday, the TGIF was just a retracement on a higher time frame. So we honestly went up a lot higher than I thought, but the TGIF did play out, so that's cool. But I want to see us trade down here again. We have a breaker here on a lower time frame, trading up into a higher time frame array, which would be a 15-minute mitigation block. Also with this new week opening gap here, so we're getting the reaction that we want to see, especially if we're looking for lower prices with a low resistant liquidity run signature. And then this is the, I need to switch it on this one. This is the AM session low from Friday right here. So again, those are the targets that we look for. I think today we could get something crazy. When I mean crazy, like some real movement, because we have NFP on Wednesday, then we have CPI on Friday. So really, really heavy week. I think they could today and tomorrow do some quick movement. Now, do we get like all the way down to this today or tomorrow? I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. But that's what I'm seeing right now. I think it's just a retracement up higher. Take the range. We went to a premium market. That's a clear sell side liquidity right there. I don't think it's coming down here to come back up higher. I think higher time frame, we're going lower. So we'll see what we get today. Everything looks cool. I almost was going to wear glasses today, to be honest. I was like, nah. It's all about the drip. Sometime I got to show y'all the drip. Like today's calm, right? Today's a calm day. I just got a zip up from Uniqlo. I got like this nice shirt from, I think it's Pull and Bear. I got these green like cargo looking pants from Zara. And I just got house shoes on. Nothing on the feet, right? The feet are just chilling. But yeah, gotta start showing some fits a little bit more. Because I like fashion. That's like my other thing, fashion. So we have this inverse fair value gap here as well. But again, that's my target. So now after like 9:30, right? We want to see us trade a little bit higher, honestly. But we may not. We may honestly just shoot down here, which is fine. Because I think we've done a lot already. So I don't think that we're gonna have to need to go up a lot higher. Sorry. Felt like it was a little constricting right now. So I like this low key. This right here. So I want to see us trade up into this. This is a breaker block. This was a little miniature trade I was taking this morning. I bought there, I bought down here, it stopped me out. I bought in again and then took it up to this right here. I can show you that real quick, actually. You see, I'm not playing around. There it is, see? So bought here, I bought a little higher, it stopped, I bought again and it stopped me out. I was like, cool. I bought again and then took it up to there. So that was a trade. I'm trying to see how I manage and how I do with minis. But I like this. I want to see, like, this for me is more of a test. I'm not gonna take the trade yet. Like, I have my specific thing that I like doing, but what I want to see is this be used. I don't think we need to trade up any higher. I think we're below a, yeah. Now, if it does all this beforehand, then probably it's going to trade a little bit lower, because right now we're seeing respect of bearish arrays right now. So we have this, it's not on the 5-minute chart. It's a 1-minute order block there. And then we have what our favorite thing is: high, low, lower high, midi with low resistance liquidity signature. That to me is a viable option. I just don't want to take it ahead of 9:30 because I haven't done that before, so I'm not just going to do it now, right? I usually like to wait a little bit. I mean, maybe at some point. Let's make sure this is only seen on this one. Maybe at some point I'll start doing that, but right now, since that's not my model, I'm not just going to just do it today. I don't do that. I need to make my stuff consistent. But what I was able to see price up here though, and then rejecting and then trading lower. So that's a good thing. And this is why I say it's very, very important. So like when you see your setup, like this is outside of my time window, but it's close to like when I'm normally trading, right? Versus this one was outside of the time window, but this is a little bit different for me. I was expecting protraction up higher to this level to then reject and then come down. That was my expectation. Oops, sorry about that. But since I don't necessarily trade like right at the open, even though I do see this is a viable option to take a short up when it trades up into here, not expecting this high to get taken. So like this is not long. Short. This would be my trade idea. This is the, I mean, it's a pre-market, pre-session low. So I'd most likely target there. Because why I'm targeting here is the AM session low, high from Friday. So this, if I was, that's what I'd be waiting for. And if it's gonna go down there for real, it'll give me another setup. It'll give me another one. But you can see I'm not necessarily taking this one, but I just want you guys to visualize like what I'm looking at and what I want to see. So we know that there's a difference between me pressing the button and then me doing this, but it's letting you know like this would be my setup. It's a little bit low. Right there. Right off the mitigation block. With this support here on a higher time frame. With this inverse IFVG, immediate rebalance. Remember I talked about that on my thing. Immediate rebalance. And so we'll see what we get here, but this is not a trade. Back in. Oh. Inside of this swing, premium is up here, discounts right there, but you wouldn't expect it to run through this if it's bearish. It's okay if it trades. I mean, you don't necessarily want to see it trade up to the top end of the mitigation block, but that's allowed as long as it's not closing outside. Then there's no issue. But if it's closing outside of this mitigation block, then obviously there becomes an issue. Like that to me would be an issue. If I was in this trade live and I click the button, I necessarily wouldn't like that. It would need to reject like instantly. That's how I would look at that. Like it would need to, like this candle, next candle needs to just start showing down movement. It can't stay outside of this mitigation block. Just move this over a little bit. It's just in the way. Go to waist. I mean, ideally, I mean, the whole breaker is this. I mean, sorry, whole mitigation block is this whole range, right? But I want to see this candle support. Now you do have this volume imbalance there. You do have this fair value gap there. But how deep it trade up into it, for me, it's not. I wouldn't like this if I was entering anywhere in here, because most of my trades, when you're not, like I either win very quickly in my trades or I lose very quickly. So those are the two things in my trades, like normal characteristics. Like when I'm sitting in a lot of drawdown, I know either I'm hit right now, I'm doing like high resistance, or my entry is too low. If I'm getting hit with massive drawdown, maybe I didn't take the range, the proper range. That's how I usually look at it. If I'm sitting in drawdown. Now this isn't my trade, but this would be something that would be like, okay, like concerning, right? It shouldn't be above this. And it's not respecting. Now, I wouldn't just immediately close this. That's not how I would do it. I would allow it to hit my stop loss if that's where what's happening. But right now it looks like it would, in theory, do that. We got 3 minutes though. Let me just, it's over here. That's not my fault. It's over here. So not, I like, why I would never put my stop loss at the rejection block is because stuff like this. Like I always put it above the high. If I'm expecting it to go lower, like obviously it can still trade to rejection block, and you wouldn't want to see it take out that high. So I never put my stop loss at the rejection block ever. Ever. I won't do that. And again, if we get this right here and it trades below here, that's even better. That's even better. Why? Because now this turns into a mitigation block again. This would turn to a mitigation block, but it has to trade below that, right? So parent range is here, but like from here to there is ideal. Again, premium market already. In this range, premium will be up here, but I don't think that we need to do that personally. So we got a nice reaction. I wouldn't have been stopped out, but I would have mad drawdown. Mad drawdown. But let's see what we get. I'm gonna just hide this for right now, because it's not necessarily a trade that I'm in, but I want to see this, especially if this fails, then we definitely getting this. Definitely getting that quickly too. I think quickly. And I like this candle if we can get below this. Again, we have to get below this, because we're about to hit 930 in about 20 seconds. So if we get below this and trades back up to it, I like this. This is even further. We probably have SMT there too. We do, see? So that helps out with this idea of us trading below here, in my opinion, right? In my opinion. But it needs to go below. Again, the original trade idea we had up there, we would not have gotten stopped out. And then we've been looking for down there. But because it was ahead of 930, like I don't take trades like that, personally. Where did I flow? Okay. So straight dive down. That's what we're looking for. That would have been a banger. Okay, so sell side liquidity was hit. We were looking for. Sometimes we just walk the dog. I'm not upset, by the way. Like, I'm not angry. It just ran down there. Let's see if we showed. So this was our original trade entry. Oop, not that one. So would have been done in what, 4 or 5 minutes. So it came close to the stop loss, but didn't hit that. That's why I never do rejection blocks. Nah. I don't put my stop loss at rejection block. It always has to go above it. Why? Because I've seen it so many times where you're putting it right at the top. And there you go. Just hits you and then runs lower, right? That's what happens with most. So this gap, so what I'm watching and weighing is I'm trying to just make sure that I'm not getting caught off sides. I do believe that it's going to go lower. So it'd have to trade up a little bit higher. I do see this breaker here, but if this is, like, I would need to see it trade up to, I want to see it hit the mitigation block, just in my opinion. Then I'll sell one. I do see this breaker though, but I'm more inclined to take it up there if it does it. It may not give that to me, which is fine. Okay, it shows weakness. If it trades below this low, then that's when I'll look for something else a little bit shorter. But I want to see it trade there. I'll take a sell there. So trade up to a discount. I mean a premium. I want to see that. I am just looking at the higher time frame of the chart. The mitigation block is there. So where this is, I'm gonna take this to right there. So the initial reaction, that's nice. I like that. But we obviously need to see continuation from there. I'm going based off of hitting this higher time frame right here. I understand we took out this sell side liquidity. I could be offsides. You know, then we have to manage that. But just going with higher time frame ideologies here. On the 50-minute chart, it doesn't look that great. Could be offsides. Go to waste. Yeah, it looks like we're offsides right now. Okay, so we took a loss there. So we'll see if we can end up getting in there again, if it's going to do that. I went above here. I was not going to put my stop loss above that. I don't think it was necessary. I'm back in that mode. I'm better than ever. And if we're wrong and we're offsides, it's okay. We can switch. But right now I have to just wait a little bit. I still think it's going to go lower. This higher time frame, but I have to wait a little bit more. So we had an initial reaction, and that's when I say, like, when I take trades, I'm either right quickly or wrong quickly. So look at the bodies. Oh, I need to take this thing off. Hold on. I can see the. There we go. For me, okay, so I'm gonna look to see it take another one if it can trade up a little bit higher. I want to see it do this though. Hopefully we don't just get left and stopped out, and that's fine. I want to see it close below here though. I'm back in that mode. I'm better than ever. Because I'm watching the bodies. I don't care about the wicks. I'm looking at the bodies right now. The bodies are what let me know. I'm back in that mode. Something today. So it could be offsides, honestly. the way that it's looking right now, right? We went below this low. We had that down to there. But I don't think so. I don't think so. But we'll see. Doesn't matter what I think. Let's see what we end up getting here. Because again, the bodies are telling me something completely different inside of here, inside of this candle. But I want to see a different signature after especially getting stopped out. Need to see a different signature here. Open the day. So we took stops into an hourly fair value gap. So we may actually want to go up a little bit higher. Didn't hit the so just have to wait a little bit right now. I'm back in that mode. I don't think there's no news. There should be no news today. Nah, we're chilling. Yeah, might just have to wait a little bit longer. Like there's a lot of wicks right now. I'm back in that mode. So if we do go higher, that's fine. We have some areas that we could be looking to buy from. We have that. On the 5-minute chart, like crazy wick, right? Didn't look too good on that chart, that time frame. I'm embedded in it. Is that the hourly chart? Oh, 15-minute chart. Hold up, let me just look at this quick. Okay, so we're back in that right here. Let's see what we're getting here. But right now for me, I'm looking to see how premium and discount arrays are being respected or disrespected right now. So for me right now, this stop run, that looks kind of crazy in terms of where it was, where it went to. We're back up into this original new week opening gap inside of that. So let's see what we end up getting here. I have too much on here already. So yeah, I don't think there's a need to come back up there, especially after what we did if we're gonna go lower. Right. I'm not just playing. So if we're gonna end up going higher, let me switch to this one. So for me, I want to see this gap get traded too. Like create a gap. What I'm saying. Let's take this off. So right now it looks like I was wrong on direction, which is fine. Okay, so the breaker was used. We trade above the breaker. Now we are retrading back up into this gap again after taking sell side here with a strong push. Looks like we're gonna want to target London high. Looks like that's what we want to do. So if we come back down into here, we can. I'll buy one. If not, we're like look to target this. I mean, this would coincide with dollar. It needs to trade lower first, right? Not just gonna buy. Come on. It's gotta trade lower first. Not buying, cannot buy up in premium markets. Can't do that. Now it could be pricing in a premium. Could be doing that. This reaction. So go towards London. London's high. Stop loss below here. And we'll see what we're gonna get in here. And ideally it would be. Wait, why don't I have that on there? I'm tripping right now. I'm gonna take it to London high. I don't have the levels on there. That's not very good. We're trading up into this 15-minute gap now. I do think, I mean, there's minor buy side right here. If it was like, if it was, want to see this hold, by the way. Don't want to see a trade down here. We're at the bottom end of this higher time frame mitigation block as well. Want to see that hold. But if I had like multiple on, these are minis, right? They're not micros. So which I won't have. Like for me, it's like it needs to trade above this high. And then that shows a lot more support in my opinion. If it trades above this high, if it can get above that high and expand above that high, then that's when I would move everything. I'd move my stop loss up. But I want like this OB kind of has to hold. Like, don't want to see this get ran through, to be honest. I got too much on there. That's an order block, right? I don't want to have like 50 million different things on my chart. It's also the first presented fair value gap. Right now, London high looks like it's the draw. What I am worried about is a little bit of the stalling that we're getting right now. So this take out the minor buy side. That's when I'll then reduce some of my risk on this trade. I want to see it close above there. I'll most likely probably go break even. Trade above that. Okay, break even. So now I want to see that hold. I want to see us target this London high and get there. So that order block should hold. If it's bullish, it should hold. Not. Because to me, London high is the level that makes the most sense to me to be hit. Like we do have an Asia high from Wednesday. I'm just gonna see go to waste. The Asia high is like, oh yeah, you guys can see it right here, like where my cursor is right here. We fell short of that. Now I want to see us like hold above that and target this London high. So I have my stop loss here. Now, where it could get in trouble, like where I could get in trouble in terms of moving my stop loss a little bit too early, is you look in the 5-minute chart, we're gonna have this gap here, right? Now, if we come up here and fail, that's gonna be the quick indication that it's probably gonna come a little bit lower. So ideally, like this is like what I would be looking for. But I had to follow my rules. Like I can't sit here and because it's at 1,000, just let me just close the trade. Like it has to target session highs and lows that I think it's going to trade to based off of where it's at. So now just on the 5-minute chart, looking at that, that puts this in a little bit of, makes it a little suspect, in my opinion. So now I'm going to move it up a little bit. Well, got stopped out right away, essentially. Or didn't. I should have gotten stopped out. So ideally looking up here, I don't know why I didn't get stopped out. Maybe by the time I moved it, it was already gone. But yeah, sometimes you just get blessed, right? So we'll see what happens here. It could still come back down. That's fine. But the 5-minute chart looks a little bit why does this look weird? What time frame is this on? Oh, that's why. It's on the hourly time. I'm like, this looks so weird. Okay, yeah. It's on the hourly time frame. Okay. So we hit the Asia high already. So I guess I technically could have pulled it off there. But I'm looking at this high up here, especially from all that we've done. This to me makes more sense, right? That to me makes more sense. Maybe I got blessed by not moving my stop loss up as quick as I wanted to. Who knows? We'll only know at the if it comes down. So this wick, and why I think I'm being a little bit more aggressive on my stop loss is because I can't take partials, right? And like it's easier to take partials on this, but when you're trading on like the trade what is it, Tradebait or whatever, taking partials, like you got to change this every single time. Every single time you have to change this so that's why I'm doing more with my stop loss than what I'm doing with letting price do whatever. Excuse me, whatever it's gonna do. So for me, I'm actually gonna go there. I'm okay with that. That's below 50% of that wick that has the order block there, and then we'll just let it go. Motion today. See, I want to see expansion towards this London high. Again, the 5-minute chart is of concern. If we fail, you know, sometimes it'll come up here and come real close and then fail and come back down. That's the big 5-minute chart. Giving you that failure. We have this wick. We have this wick. Pretty much we had this candle and it like went all the way back down here. So I'm okay with, you know, what happens at the end of the result. We traded back up into the low end of the midnight opening range gap. But from where we are, I would love to see it obviously expand up here versus coming down, but it can do whatever it's gonna do anyways. For me, I was more testing, am I able to use minis? Okay, got stopped out there in profit. That's fine. That's ultimately we're looking for this now on the 5-minute. I'm not gonna go back in and do more and do this and do that. Like it is what it is. But this is a 5-minute FEG. There, look how the bodies respected that though. Kind of tough, right? That's that gap there that potentially could trade to. The way that I'm back in that mode. Back in that mode. Look at that. So we went back. We're back up like what, $100 or $95 again. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to see this reaction from here. I want to see that. I'm back in that mode. Look how the body's on the 15-minute chart, right? Respect this. Wait, am I tripping? Did I delete something? Oh, no. This level, sorry. 5-minute chart. The body's respected that. Maybe it just wanted to run a little bit deeper up into this range. Nice PA day today, I guess. I'm back in that mode. You just gotta be calm when you're trading. Like there's no rush to do anything, not in a hurry. Be chilling. So I mean, I could have done Asia high, which would have been here, and took it off there. It's just I was looking for this, so happens in your trading sometimes. Just look a little suspect. Appreciate it, Corgi. Appreciate it, my man. To me, I still think this looks. It just looks suspect to me. I'm not gonna hold you. Going higher just still looks a little suspect to me. But buying there, I mean, it got stopped out there. If I had micros, would have taken one off there, one off there. But it's not what we got today. It still looks suspect to me going higher. I'm not gonna hold you. It looks very suspect. So I'm like very apprehensive of buying right now. Because this, but like that doesn't look like a high either. I ain't gonna hold you. Doesn't really look like a high to me. It just looks very, very, very suspect. Because look on the 15-minute chart, the 15-minute breaker, just this candle held. Look how the body's on the 5-minute chart, like smack dab hold it. We've traded down into that. A 1-minute chart. What else do we get here? This is ideally what I'd want to see, right? So if we do something like this, like this fail, this would be golden. That would be golden. I just don't, for some reason, I just don't believe it's coming up here right now. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look like it to me. From how we rejected, how we held this range. The bodies. But again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong. I was wrong before. Be wrong again. It's not about being right or wrong. Because I was wrong here, like, or I went against whatever. And you know, back to break even. So again, I'm always trying to revenge and always get my money back. It's not always about that. The setup presented itself. That was the next level of liquidity that made sense to me. Again, it could still go up there. I could, you know, put a bot back in and do that. It's just something about it that just doesn't look like it to me. But these don't look like highs to me. They look like highs to me. Unfortunately. We'll see what we get here. We'd love to see failure. And then break below that low. And we're golden. I'm telling you, that joint's gonna run. If it does it. Now, if we need to see displacement below this low. If that's going to be the case, we need to see displacement. If not, then obviously, you know, I'll deny. But I would like to see it trade lower, but could be wrong. I could be wrong. So in order, like, so what we want to look for in swing highs and swing lows. So we need 1, 2. So it's 4 candles, right? ICT talked about this in the core content stuff, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one you need to see trade higher. So this identifies, or this makes this a swing low, an important swing low. So it's the fourth candle. This is 1, 2, 3. This candle right here locks this one in. If this trades lower, this does not, it does not make that like a swing low. If that makes any sense. Or identify that this swing low. So now it has been. So now if it trades lower, if it can't, you know, it may not. It may end up going up here. That's fine. Like I'm not in anything. I'm just objectively looking at it. For me, it would make more sense. Or what I'd want to see is a trade below this low, create a fair value gap, come up, break mitigation block, trade lower, attacking this and even the rejection block. That's what I would want to see personally. If we get that, I will take it. I will take one more trade if we get that, and then I'm done. But that exact scenario that I told you needs to happen. You need to create a fair value gap below this low. If that does not happen, not buying. I'm okay with allowing it to go up there and just closing my day off and being fine. If it does that, I will then look for short down below this low. I'll try it again. So for me, it's this candle right here. But I explain the criteria and what needs to happen. That's an order block. It would need to hold. I'm back in that mode. Sorry, you can hear it. I'm listening to the same song. Let me change the song right now. Oh, shoot. I had it locked on the same song. I'm trying to sit here and play a different song. It won't do it. 3, 4. Yeah, want to see that happen. Honestly, ran out this high. I didn't think that we were gonna do that. To be honest. So nice reaction from there, at least on this candle. But again, needs to trade below that, create a gap. If not, then obviously going up there. I'm not gonna buy. Just letting you know right now, I'm not buying. It's okay if it goes up there without me. That's why I mean, like literally, like taking a loss. Like, there's really nothing to fear if you can just understand like what it's doing. I think when you don't understand what price is doing, and I'm not saying I understand all the time. That's not my what I'm trying to say. I know everything that's happening. Clearly, I didn't know that this was gonna go up higher. Like I didn't know that. But for me, it's like if I understand, like I can see where I'm wrong. Okay, if I'm wrong on this, how do I get back into the trade, or how can I frame another setup that makes sense? But if I can't see that and it doesn't make, and that's not there, or that signature isn't there, well, then there's nothing for me to do. And like just go away with the loss and then move on to the next day. So this is a new 15-minute candle. Just look at all the time frames. We're spending too much time in this 1 hour gap, in my opinion. See, I could have understood maybe I could understand if we had hit this. There's a monthly consequent encroachment right there of a wick. So if we had hit that and had that response, I probably would have been like, oh, okay, nah. The fact that we didn't do that lets me know I wouldn't have been like, oh, we're gonna go a little bit higher. So, but this is consolidating a little bit too much inside a range I would expect to not be traded through. So we've taken out this. We expand above it. What's being shown? That's where always just watching more of the candles. How the candle's forming. And what do they look like? How are they? Do we close above this high? Do we immediately reject? Like, what are we doing? How much time is it spending into a gap? What is it doing? Once you have those factors, then we know what we're looking for. Okay. Again, need to see a fair value gap. We hit a rejection block twice. The 2-minute chart rejection block is here. Then we hit up again. Then we hit it again here. And we had this reaction above this high. If I'm buying, I don't like this. Like, just be honest. If I was buying, this to me is not something I'd want to be doing. I mean, that reaction, premature entry would be right there, targeting down here. But I want to see if everybody get created below this low. Once that happens for me, then I'm good. But premature entry would be there for me. And that would be based off of like I hadn't taken a loss, the specific thing I was looking for. That's how that would be done for me. But because I've already taken a loss and I've taken 2 trades, that's not an entry for me. 10:03. So we have macro right now. Yeah, these to me just don't look like actual highs where they would turn. Like this doesn't look like this. Patiently waiting. Like I try to tell people, a lot of trading is literally this. Like it's just this. All it is this. Check on a 5-minute chart. Let's just rotate. Body wise, that looks nice. New week opening gap wise, that looks nice. For the upside, it really does. But again, I don't want to buy. Even though I explain when it falls short, it comes down. It's usually a 5-minute gap. I explain that, but I don't want to buy. I'm okay. We may go up to the London high. Not may, we probably will. $10.05. I don't know what I'm listening to. It sounds like old school. Yeah, he's my kind of fellow. I don't even know how this is on my playlist. Somebody hijacked my Spotify. Never even heard that song. Should be expanding above that high. And London high is right there. It's a low resistant liquidity run signature too. It should expand way past that. Should go at least up there. So the 5-minute gap did hold. So stop run, low there, expansion inside the macro time. So let's just note that. I love you, dumb. So macro time is here. Oh, one more. There we go. We'll take a picture here. I wasn't in it. That's fine. But this is still logging experience. This is a so like what you guys see me doing, like this is what I do like every day. You guys don't see the back end. Why is it doing that? Oh, it's on cap lock. This is what I do every single day. So I'll go in macro, 5-minute, 1-minute, 15-minute charts, and I do this exact process. So if I thought it could go higher, right? Let's say I was like, oh, I don't know, I thought it could go higher. There. Because it is a Asian block. And I would see all this stuff. I wouldn't expect for it to trade too much deeper, but I would like the mitigation block to get traded to. That's how I look at this one. Does anyone in here know how to use a camera, by the way? Like know what all that stuff means? Like I think it's like +1, F0, whatever all that stuff means. So mitigation block, I would expect it to hold, but tapped into it now. So that'd be another buying opportunity right there. Trade higher. Blast through this London high. This is a failure swing here inside a 5-minute gap. 1-minute highest up close candle overlaps with this mitigation block in the 15-minute chart that failed. Higher end, wouldn't expect it to trade deep into here, and then would expect for price to start to show some higher prices. So like that's Asia's high there. So there's another short-term high here. Just see if I can outline it. Oh, roughly right there. There's some minor buy side there. Let's do this. Minor buy side. I just have a different chart y'all can't see, but it's pretty much right there. So to me, anything that's not a session high or low, that's minor buy side to me. Not a session high or not a session low, it's minor. It's a session high or session low. Obviously, if it's a daily low, that's different because there are sometimes the daily low is not a session high or low. It can form at like 5 a.m., which to me wouldn't be that. But probably have ES. Kind of a little bit consolidating before a session higher low. That's obviously normal, because they teach you in the books that this is how you should be putting your stop loss wherever you're shorting. I don't know, above here they put that you should put your stop loss like right above the session higher low, and you target wherever you're targeting. That's what the books tell you. So this consolidation, I think, it gives people them to be comfortable, and then price just obviously jabs right through that. That's normal. I've seen it like literally run up. I've seen it run up to um highs like this and literally reverse and like not come back for weeks. And that is like, to me, like, why are they doing that? Like, you're right there. Just take it out. I mean, that to me is so clear that it wants to hit that. That's an old rejection block. What I started to notice too is like in the mitigation blocks, in the breaker blocks, like price likes to trade down to that up close, highest up close candle. Like the, for instance, that one. Breaker block, they like to trade down to the opening closing price down here. Just noticed that a couple times. You know, sometimes it's like really not that, it's not worth it to just be buying and selling, trying to do all that stuff. So sometimes it's just better to watch. Probably gonna stay what, to like 10:30 or so. Got about like what, 17 minutes. 17 minutes or so. Nobody, don't park there. Um, yeah, we'll see this. So we get here. When you come at home. This is almost what happened also last week too. Like Monday, I had to get my bearings. Like last week, same Monday, like ran a lot higher and did whatever. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday had everything and down. But um yeah, so this should get like blown right through. Like I don't know why I mean, I know why. It's consolidating right above or below this low, this high. But it should go right through that. There we go. So London high got tapped into. And then that's the other buy side. So again, there, targeting there. This buy side, minor buy side there. You have this high. So to me, that makes more. I'd probably honestly put it here. The buy side liquidity is up there. So it's be a 2-to-1. Ready. That's why I don't fear missing the original move, because it's gonna, if it gives me a mitigation block, I'm there. I'm all for that. Just I'm not here to just click buttons today. I'm okay with missing this stuff. Want to see that buy side get targeted. Ready spaghetti. That's my whole thing here where it says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. I don't need to worry about all the stuff down here unless I can like definitely clearly see it, which obviously you could tell. I mean, I saw it here, then it came back down. I mean, it did everything I was explaining, but you know, I don't need to get back in and do any of that stuff. For me, it was more like, can I trade with minis? And what I have seen is like I'm quicker to move my stop loss because I know that I can't take partials, right? So that's what I noticed today. I'm sure you guys have noticed that today too. So that's something that I know that I'm going to be quicker on doing that. And is that to me worth it, or do I still stay where I'm at? You know, that's like what's going on in my head. Because it doesn't make any sense to do something and I know I'm going to be rushing my stop loss up quicker and using my stop loss as a partial taker, you know. So that's what I was managing today. That was the drill I was doing today. This would be, want to trade up there. There's buy side here. I'd be using the rejection block. The current daily range, or the current, yeah, daily range, we're obviously up into a premium. And once today does its thing, we'll be back on track again. But I feel like I did a pretty good job today. Pretty good job. Yeah, we should hit this. Should be able to get that. But yeah, my pre-market stuff is I like my process can sometimes be a little bit long. It's a bit long. But in terms of this, like, I need to fix this. Mm-hmm. See if we can get this run up to there. Yeah, either if we get this run up to here, I'll hop off and we back on tomorrow for show. If it or the time stop is like 10:30, so either hits up there or 10:30, one of the two. So that's what we'll be looking for. Again, the mitigation blocks. I'm telling you, same thing with the breakers, but the why I like mitigation blocks more is because it's showing you strength. That's why I like mitigations more. Almost there. So I put it at the 15-minute rejection block. That's where like my entry would be. Or sorry, exit. Sorry, if I was taking this trade, that's how it would have been. Mitigation. We said we want to see a trade down to here. Didn't trust this yet. Okay. Trades above, comes down to what? Mitigation. This shows strength. Right? Showing strength. So I like this. That's why I signal out this candle. The mitigation block gives us what we're looking for. So So we hit the mean threshold of that order block that I'm looking for, the rejection block for exit. We hit that. Patience, patience, patience. What we don't want to see is it go up here and then, what is it, 8 minutes kind of fail because we have a 15-minute gap below us, or it just completely like rolls over all this stuff, which it can do that as well, right? It does. I mean, at this point, like in the trade, like my stop loss wouldn't still be like this, by the way. It'd probably be like right there below this suspension block. Wouldn't jam it right there. Be below this. We got about 8 minutes left. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting into like vlogging and stuff. Hold on, make sure everything's cool on this end. Yeah, everything's cool. Start getting into vlogging, like doing like my daily routines, and like y'all see a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. What I be doing. Y'all gotta go back and watch ICT's stuff, especially if you have a lot of years behind you. You're missing out a lot when you don't go back and listen to what he says. That's helped me out so much. And I was in his mentorship, like the paid one. Anyone else do anything today? Anybody do some trading? Anyone catch any longs, catch any shorts? So what y'all do today? Korg, I know you did something. I know you did something. London High got rejected. Rejected. I mean, stop loss. I don't feel like I have to say that. It's like right here. I don't. Not right there. My fault. My fault, gang. It's not where my stop loss would be. Right below that suspension block, one tick below. But I still think it's gonna get hit, right? I'm not acting like it's not gonna get hit. I don't forget. Yeah, so we have like a 15-minute gap that's going to be created, or it's going to do a immediate rebalance, which we know what that is on a lower time frame. That's what an OTE. That's what that is. So it's most likely going to stop out here. Yeah, so I'd be stopped out there. So put that on there, take a picture of that. All right, I'm gonna hop off now. I have some other things I got to do today. I think it was a really good day though. I'm proud of my execution. I'm proud of what I was looking for. Obviously we were looking for the lowest prices up here. We called this, thought we were gonna get another trade lower. So didn't get that. So flipped. When I trade on to this gap, we bought up to here. Only had one, couldn't take any partials. It came down, you know, stopped us out. I think it was a nice for where I put it at. Consolidated, hit the 5-minute gap. 1-minute chart, consolidated, expanded up to the London high, which is what we're looking for on this initial trade. Came back to the mitigation block, ran up, failed to hit the buy side, traded up to the mean threshold of a higher time frame gap, and I ended up trading lower. So that's what we got today. You know, recouped anything that we had lost, which was fine. And yeah, just we move forward. We keep moving. Keep moving. All right, I appreciate you guys for popping on. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9:20. Anyone in Discord, obviously, I'll catch you guys there and we can just chop it up. All right, peace out.